bad. How you doing? Loving that setup you shared, mate, with the tubes. Easy Street, nice. So clean with those tubes, right? Right. Let's check in. We had issues last time, but yeah, looks like audio's going through. So good. Going home right now. So, what, you're out and about, are you? You on the move? Let's have a look. Get this. Yeah, you out, are you? Anywhere nice? Get that sorted. All good. That's looking good. Let's bring that up there. Practically a pro at this now. Almost. Right, let's have a look. See what we got going on here then. Let's see. Sound is good. I had to scroll off the session, check out YouTube till I found he was not good. Oh really? What do you mean? Like searching as in lives? Like it's just not there. Weird, right? Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes who knows what triggers you getting shadow banned or not. I was talking to a guy the other day on Instagram and mentioned, I was like, look, you realise you're shadow banned, and yeah, which like it sucks because you just don't know why. At least if you get, I mean, even if you get like a ban for like 24 hours or a week or something like that, at least you can remove the offending content, right? And go, well, you know, my bad, and move on. But yeah, with the shadow ban stuff, it's a real pain in the ass to know what image is the offending one. Yeah. Hey Kat, how you doing, man? As I went on YouTube and searched your name. Oh, what is there just hundreds of Jake Hicks or something, or did it just not come up? Because that's how you can tell if you're shadow banned or not. Is you can search for your own name on somebody else's profile and see if it comes up. And you can tell it won't come up because you can type the whole, like apart from the last letter. But if you type the entire name apart from the last letter and it doesn't come up, yeah, that's it. You're done. Don't even get. We started on the IG one. One reel from. We should get rid of this heart thing. I can't see. One reel going 6K and then one from yesterday got 200. Really. So like, do you use, because you don't use any music, right? Do you use any music at all? Because my wife swears by, like, you said you got to be using music. You got to be using trending music. That will push it up and all that sort of stuff. I don't really use any of the music, but yeah, apparently that can help a ton as well. It's stuff you did for brands, random photography stuff, and maybe 15. Oh, really? Gotcha. God, the old school, like from 8 years ago, YouTube, my stuff. It doesn't show up the live one on Earth, man. That's nuts. Yeah. I can't use music. Also post to YouTube. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely safer. Yeah. Great little vid though that you shared. That you tagged me in. Yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, it was good stuff. Yeah, short and sweet. I guess it looks like it took. It looked like it took a decent amount of time to make. You got a lot of stuff moving around there. You switching about, lots of cuts, overlays, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it looks like it took a while to make, man. Yeah. Etienne, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Been a while, right? Did you share any stuff in here? Let's have a look. Let's quick refresh this. Those of you new here, what we're going to do here is just go through some of your images in a minute and just give some feedback and critique and that sort of thing if it's needed, or just check them out and just enjoy the stuff that you've been working on. Do this like live stream every couple of weeks, but we do the share a shoot on my Facebook page every week. So if you just wanted to share some work and get some feedback on Facebook, then that's the place to do it. Before we jump in giving some feedback and bits and pieces like that, we'll just have a quick quick buzz through. I say quick, it's usually about an hour. Of us just going through any sort of news releases, a couple of bits thought worth having a look at. I downloaded one of these AI photo editing pieces of software. So essentially, like, you're downloading the software and then it's using the cloud to do to do the work. But it's like, it's actually, I mean, I would never use it, but like, it actually does. It's just like Lightroom and Photoshop combined into one, along with tons and tons of how to put it, like phone app filter features and that sort of stuff. So it kind of uses, as far as I'm aware, it kind of uses some AI to like do adjustments in the face and the makeup, as well as like the presets it has. So it has regular presets, and then it has like AI presets, because you can use a preset and it's like, well, this looks terrible because it was designed for this one other shot. So they kind of have these, like, as far as I can tell, I could be wrong, but it looks like AI presets where you kind of get like a thumbnail of the colors, and then you click it and then it looks at the image and then actually intelligently uses the preset. It's kind of interesting. I mean, like I said, I would never use it, but they essentially charge you per export, right? And we'll have a look at that, because I think we're going to see so many more of these popping up in the coming months and years, just because I think they're going to be relatively easy to make. Because all the work is kind of already done by other people, and you can use it. So we'll have a look at those, and see what that's like, and then we can jump in and have a look at what you guys have been working on. Let's get rid of this flashing thing here a minute. Right, let's have a quick refresh. Yeah, if you wanted to share an image, by all means do it here. Post it in the comment sections of this Facebook post. If you want to share an image, we can have a look at it. Let's have a look. Oh, you haven't? If you want to, Etienne, yeah. If you want to, have you got something new that you've been working on you wanted to share? Let's do it. Yeah, the one I posted today had a lot more animation and stuff. You have it. Okay, cool. I was in here, is it? Nice. Let's have a look. Let's see what we got here. Some good stuff though, guys. Yeah, I mean, good stuff again. Like, tons of good stuff in here. Oh yeah, somebody or Tim posted about April Fools. Totally forgot yesterday. An idiot. Could have done something. Did anybody see any good April Fools, photo related or otherwise? Yeah, did anybody see any? I had my head down doing a few hours work yesterday, and I didn't actually go on the internet. Shock horror, I know. So I didn't even see any. Missed out on it. Got some guys in here as well. Most relevant. Oh, I can't remember to keep changing this. Most relevant. Let's have a look. Oh, there's Etienne's in there. Oh, you got a little bit of a shadow hide there because of the skin. Outrageous. Oh, this is cool though. Yeah, this is beautiful. Beautiful stuff, man. Yeah, really good. Yeah. We'll have a look at these in a minute. that got shadow hidden as well. I suppose, what was it? Religious connotations. Interesting. It's funny what meta hides, man. Yeah, that's brilliant. The rest of you managed to dodge the meta ban hammer. Good stuff. Okay. So let's have a look. So let's have a jump in, have a look at some bits and pieces here. Vlad, are you going to be about for the next 15 so minutes? I want to show you something in here in a second. I'll get to it in a second, but yeah, I want to get your thoughts on this in a minute. Just quickly going to go through a little bits of news. Last stream we spoke about Nikon acquiring Red cameras, and Red cameras make obviously the cameras and the mounts and everything for many camera manufacturers, including Canon, and there was a certain amount of people being concerned that Nikon was going to own Red, and then like, right, no more Canon stuff, that's it, good luck. But yeah, like I said at the time, there's no way Nikon's going to be turning away free money like that. So honestly, for the most part, I don't think we'll know at all that Nikon even owns Red anymore. Remember we spoke about it as well with regards to DJI, Chinese drone manufacturer owning Hasselblad. Like, we really never know, apart from the fact that they've put like the Hasselblad on the front of their drones, which I think is brilliant. But yeah, for the most part, like, we're not going to really know. We figured we'd clear the air. We're excited about the future and remain fully committed to our products and the Red brand, our team, and our customers. There are no changes to product support, warranties, policies. Keep creating. Exactly. So yeah. It's not gonna. I don't think anything's going to change. I think Udi here goes on to say, I think a safe bet to speculate that Nikon will bring some autofocus tech to Red cameras. Kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, and that Red will bring some video tech to Nikon cameras. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that grows. But I shouldn't think we'll see anything. It's certainly not for a long while yet. Yeah, no worries, Plaid. Yeah, Sterling, how you doing, mate? Just getting going today and listening. Yeah, no worries, buddy. Yeah, no worries. Hope you've been well. You look like you've been working pretty hard today. You look like you've had a bunch of shoots the last month or so. Looks like you've been super busy, which is good. Yeah, all good stuff, man. Yeah, as well. Like, looks like a lot of them have been creative stuff as well. So that's good to see. Nothing crazy here. I just wanted to kind of bring this up. Lomo, or Lomography, kind of famous for, nostalgia baiting, whatever you want to call it, kind of cashing in on old tech and reinvigorating it, which is kind of weird because that's what I love about cameras and a lot of photographic stuff, lighting as well even, but is that it's kind of timeless, right? I got a camera up there on the shelf, the medium format Pentax 6.7. The thing's an absolute beast, but it's like 50-60 years old and takes beautiful images, right? Nothing needs to change, and cameras are a lot like that. Like, cameras don't really die. You can buy old cameras anyway. What they've done is they've kind of reimagined this 110 camera. Now, a couple of you youngins in chat will have no idea what a 110 camera is, but it's essentially I managed to grab an example here. Shoots this kind of cartridge film, right? And just to give you some idea, this is 35mm, right? So like full frame, yeah. And this is like a 110 shot. So they are diddy, yeah, absolutely diddy. So, Vlad, I know you're into your grain. These things are nuts, like absolutely crazy grain on these, for obvious reasons, right? But yeah, Loma bringing this out, and 110 quid for this thing. Like, it's cool, I guess. Don't get me wrong, it does look cool. But I mean, if you just wanted to muck around with one of these, you can just grab one on eBay for like a tenner or something. Let's just buy it now, 15 quid for this one. And this Minolta one is actually, that's fire, man. Look at that. That is oh, look at that beauty. That bloody thing's waterproof, man. So yeah, I know. Just find it. Find it funny. My mum used to have some of these. Is that? Mate, these are like, I don't make them like that anymore. What a beast, hey? That is that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like, some of these things, like the designs and stuff, and some of these old ones are actually really cool. I think. Yeah, I know. Young people are like, what are you banging on about, Jake? But yeah, kind of funny. So, if you want. You want to get that minuscule frame, then you certainly can do. Yeah. It looks like APS-C a film. Yeah, that's true, actually. So when I was working in a lab, I'm going back, 25 years, something like that. I worked in a lab, and like APS-C was all the rage then, right? And if those of you that don't know, APS-C is basically a camera like it kind of looked a little bit like that. And then on the camera, you could flick a switch, right? And it was like panoramic, so it was like real thin, like panoramic like that, just like regular, and then I think it was square or just off square, like 10:8 style sort of thing, right? And it was a slider, so when you took the picture, you could go, oh yeah, I got this nice landscape shot. Let's switch it to the panoramic. Or I got this portrait. Let's switch it 5:4 or whatever. Take my shots. Now in the lab, all it is we would have to look on the film, because it still takes the same image. It's not changing the image. It's just telling the film just print this panoramic, right? So when it came to printing the panoramic, it'd be so noisy because you're just zooming in on this small section of the film. So yeah, the APS-C were like these cartridges. They were just worse versions of 35mm. I have no idea what Kodak was thinking, other than the fact that it was trying to make photography, tricking the consumer into thinking that they had panoramic as well as portrait and all that sort of thing. But it was pretty funny. You'd have to crop in on some of these tiny frames to turn it into this long print. It's terrible. 110 is basically Micro Four Thirds before it was cool. I've got some 110 film around here somewhere. I remember shooting a roll. Like I think it was a fashion shoot, and I just buzzed out a roll, and because it's so small, like you cannot help but get dust and hair on the negs and stuff when you're scanning. Back in my grungy days, it's good to muck around with it. Yeah, you can feel how sticky some of those old cameras are. Sticky? What do you mean sticky? You mean sticky as in like the plastic starts to break down and it actually gets sticky? I do know what you mean. Yeah, I've certainly found some old cameras up in the attic that are just like congealed into their cardboard box. Yeah. So yeah. This was Nanlux talking about this new motorized Fresnel. This is not going to be for very many people apart from specifically on film sets, but I do always like to keep an eye out on sort of Fresnel glass lenses, whatever you want to call it, that is being put out there. And let's see, I was just checking because somebody was messaging me on Facebook, and usually they're trying to message me to say that something's not working in the stream, so I better check it. But yeah, like these things, I mean, how much is this? This is like $1,200, something like that, and motorized. Cool, so you can put in that sort of thing. But I find it interesting that these are being made for LED lights, right? I mean, how much is the actual LED head itself? It would be $6,500. Bicolor. The 2400 is power, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, a lot of money, but it is interesting. And Godox, they're bringing out, is it the G mount and that sort of thing? They're bringing out these monsters and stuff now as well. So it's interesting to see LEDs. People talking about, I can't get LEDs because it's not powerful enough, and more and more of these are making their way onto film sets and TV sets and that sort of thing. So like it's definitely changing. Yeah. So nothing too crazy about that. I just wanted to mention it because bringing out these Fresnel lenses like the old Hollywood style lights, but bringing them into the modern era. Yeah. I mean, rubber turning back into dinosaur goop. Yeah, right. That exactly that. I do know what you mean. Yeah, it's when it kind of breaks down, weird, right? Yeah, dinosaur goop. Yeah, 2400 is what's right. I think so. Yeah. That's a space heater. That was. Yeah, right. That's. I mean, I guess hot is hot. The reason I say that is because like the old hot lights would be, tungsten and that sort of stuff. So they would be like unbelievably hot. I mean, you're still going to burn yourself, even if this is, it's far less hot. You're still going to burn yourself. I don't know. I've not used any of these monsters. I will say I did a gig for Panavision or Panelux years ago, and the lights that I used for my setups were mainly panels. I think we did have one focused head, and that did not get hot. But yeah, I don't know. There's no way these aren't getting hot though. Yeah. Okay. So last Thursday, I do share a shoot, do Stay Inspired post every Thursday, and last Thursday I looked at this guy's work here, this Paul Cokage, incredible artist based here in London, and yeah, I spent hours going through all his reels, and hopefully, if you guys get the chance, I really do recommend going through and having a look at some of these, because his mindset of what he's going through, and what he tries to achieve with them, like just even simple things like old records that are going to go to landfill, like he heats them up and then he puts them in this press and turns them into these bowls and stuff, like kind of simple, but like you want one, right? I mean, that's cool. That's really cool. Other stuff here he's done, art pieces for specific people here. I forget what he's doing it for, but basically they only come on a Child's Dream exhibition, so they only come on when they touch, and that sort of thing. What else we got here? This is kind of interesting. He's kind of playing with the audience, and I did graphic design a million years ago, and you're always kind of taught and preached, like he talks about here, form and function, right? It's the two golden rules, and it should always be function over form, and there's this kind of blend between that, and he's kind of playing with this idea of like there is no form to this piece, because it's just doing its thing, and he doesn't explain how it's doing it. There are no pictures anywhere of this piece without the books in it. Like it's a way to hold books, but his whole point here is, could I sell something where there is no form to it, right? So that like you can't see it before you buy it. And he said it was funny, people going like, I just want to see it, like I want to get it, but I just want to see it. Like people are really struggling with this idea of like, do you need to, like, it's doing that, you can see the job that it's doing, do you like what it's doing, then fine, but I kind of like the way that he kind of thinks about his art pieces and how he presents them. We can have a look at a couple of these, like one of his earlier ones. This was again like made out of polystyrene cups. It's this beautiful lamp, so he's kind of clever with what he's doing with his pieces. It's actually really effective as a lamp, like beautiful glow to it. But this is, there's loads here, and like I said, I spent hours going through it. This one as well was kind of clever, where he built this chair, but it's based on the idea of the foam being squashed, right? And you get these, and he said you got these beautiful curves that felt organic but are not, because it's like made out of stone in the end. So again, like really clever guy in terms of he's thinking about not only the design philosophy, how it affects people buying it, and also playing with form, function, and materials and that sort of stuff. Some of the things that he goes into in terms of like the technical aspects of what he's doing is kind of nuts. So like this one here is these pieces of glass that change color, right? And he's messing with people here, because he's mounting them in front of this seemingly white box, right? And the glass that is just suspended there is changing color, and people are like, how is this happening, and that sort of thing. I don't know fully how it's doing it, but to my knowledge could be something to do with the fact that there's no polarizer on the glass box, and there's something going on there where we're not seeing the color, but as it's passing through the glass, it's changing color. So it's like really clever art piece, where this piece of glass like suspended in midair is kind of changing color because of the light box behind, and like people kind of engaging with it and confused with it, and being engrossed by this kind of lack of information. Like we have to understand how something works, and he's really clever at using art to get people to like kind of want to engage with his art, to kind of understand it. You know, it's all very well having something that just appears and looks cool, but he's really clever at trying to get people to kind of understand what's going on. Now, the thing that I wanted to kind of touch on here that really fascinated me was this light here. Okay, now I'll let this play through again, and then I'll turn the volume on. But this huge light that he's made doesn't have any light bulb in it. Right? So it says that this is the prototype here, but and he's kind of made this lamp that there's no light bulb in there. It's incredibly even soft light, like unbelievably soft. And I was just fascinated by it, because he kind of talks about how he's using like paint in there that conducts, I don't know whether it's electricity or something like that, but yeah, very, very clever. Yeah. See. Right, let me turn the music on. Let me just, and I'll just play it, and then we can look at what's going on here. Because I think that, I mean, he's not sharing how it's done, but it's ingenious, and it would be incredible to be able to actually use this light like this.
Hollow hemisphere. In pictures, you just can't convey that. We take a flat piece of metal, we spin the dome, we integrate the LED light, we hide electronics, we use paint technology to transmit electricity, and then we upscaled to capture here. I went for a super matte, non-reflective black. And so the idea was actually, as an experience, when you look into it, you see just light, and the body of the form disappears. And originally I was thinking of it being like this within a space. If it was just left like that, it would lose a part of its character. So all I did is I tilted to 45 degrees, and it becomes something so much more giving. There's no diffuser or physical material that's creating this perfect flat light. Not many people realize that this is a hollow hemisphere. In pictures, you just...
I mean, that's kind of nuts, right? Like that is just, that's crazy to me. So I went through a bunch of his videos, and like there's one frame in one of them where you kind of see it off in the background, and there is nothing in it. Like, I would love to see this, right, from an absolute lighting nerd point of view. I would absolutely love to see this, because there is nothing inside it, right? It's seemingly emanating light, hence why the light that comes off it, like you see him being lit by it,
convey that.
Is absolutely crazy. Like there's a couple of other videos as well where he's just people walking past, or the light on the subject is insane, like so clean, and you know how much of a nerd I am for hating hotspots and that sort of thing, and like this just does not have that. It's just completely even. That parallel lines of light, collimating light, beautiful crisp shadow. Yeah, absolutely nuts. So I know we got some clever buggers in chat here. If anybody's got any guesses as to what's going on there, have you seen anything elsewhere where that's come from? Kind of interesting. Yeah. Paying $6.5 and putting it straight into the rain, like the ad suggests, sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, right. That super hot light. You cook some bacon on it and keep warm under it. Why not? Yeah. So who wants one of those in the studio? I know, right? Like, I would love to see this. I would genuinely love to see what is going on with that. Because I mean, in this prototype you can see like two little wires coming out the back, but yeah, like this is just chilling. There's just nothing inside it. I mean, it's just Blackmagic. But then he does so many art pieces like this that you are just drawn to them, going, what is going on here? Yeah. Exactly, Vlad. Exactly. That's kind of like he kind of alludes to that where he's using special paint. Is it possible to have some kind of paint that glows when electrified? And I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess. I assume that that would be extremely hard to regulate color wise in terms of like like the color coming off it, but in the digital age where you can recolor and white balance everything anyway, like it wouldn't it wouldn't be a major thing, or heaven forbid color it in any way. But also the thing has a small lip, could hide some LED hidden in it. Oh, you think like in the rim, you think it's coming back into it? I mean, it looks like a parabolic curve. Yeah, it looks like a parabolic curve. So what that means is that light going into there would, like, wherever the light hits into that curve is going to come straight out. Like, so even if the light hits at the edge of it, and comes, it's going to come straight back out. Even if it hits in here, it's going to come straight back out. That's what a parabolic curve is. So it could be it, but yeah, I wonder in the smaller one. I think you're right. I think there is definitely something in there. Interesting. Yeah, I think you could have cracked it there, Vlad. Yeah, I reckon there is something going around there. Now, the reason you could be onto something there is because he's done a bunch of other stuff with LEDs. I think he's kind of cracked it a little bit. I think he even talks about it at some point where he's gone, here you go. Yeah. Here you go, some more of them here. So he's just making, fancy ones there. But yeah, he's got one here which is just like this strip, which is kind of interesting, and it creates this circle. Again, just playing with what's expected and what's not. So I think he's done a bunch of these pieces where he's using LEDs. I presume he's just got something in there. But yeah, you could be right, Vlad. It could actually be. And then, he's got another one here where he's playing with LEDs in this kind of transparent void. So again, this is emanating light. I mean, that'd be a banger of a ring flash. I'm just saying. It's just absolutely incredible ring flash. That's fine. But you can see, let's see how even that is. Look at that drop off. Yeah. I think there's a couple more as well. And he, again, he's like playing with them. This is years ago, but he's kind of playing with this idea of the RGBs, and then when red, green, and blue mix, they create white, and what happens is he's playing with this kind of interactive art piece where people will walk in front of like the blue light, and then what you get is yellow light, because as the red and green are left, that's the color that you mix. So again, kind of him being kind of playful with the art as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, take a look. Yeah, I just thought it was fascinating stuff as well. Because and he seems to do a bunch with lights. Here, this is coal, which as we know is black, but the way he's positioned these lights, he's kind of made the coal refract and look almost silver, because I think he's positioned the lights quite like up high, just out on the edges of these columns here, and again, yeah, the way the coal looks is it's kind of almost glowing, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, but he's done a bunch of lights. Very, very clever guy. Incredible pieces. Yeah, and yeah, beautiful stuff. And he's got another lamp here that he's playing with, which is just like floating. Clever, right? Real clever. Because at first you can't see this, so all you're seeing is this kind of paper thing that is fully illuminated and there's nothing in it. But the way that he's positioned it only strikes this again. So beautiful kind of glow to it, and just keeping the actual source out of shot, and then making this whole modifier kind of glow, which it would do. Yeah. Looks like fiber optic cables in the small one. Oh, you reckon what, round the, coming out the back or around the outside? 2 wires, everything electric has 2 wires. Look, Vlad, I'm just helping you out here. If you don't want these hints, then maybe it's the white paint version Dayboy used, paint in tunnels. What's that? I can't remember that one. I'll have to look that up afterwards. Some of his are great though, and like one of my favorites is the parking tickets. It's like, look, he's just selling parking tickets. He said you just park anywhere and just put this parking ticket on your car. Like, they can't give you another one. It's genius, absolutely genius. Yeah. Also, there's a parabolic curve. I know that it reflects light that's coming from a specific point. Parallel rays. I remember that from YouTube video where the guys using satellites to the sun. Yeah, exactly. And that's, like the Egyptians used that to heat water, right? You put that parabolic curve there, and it's all coming back to that central point. So it's probably a moth. Yeah, it was a Chinese restaurant. They painted bright yellow. Really? Jesus. That sounds like it would not get aired today. But yeah, good stuff though. He's yeah. If you haven't seen his reels and stuff, then please go have a look, because he's not just going right here it is. He actually talks over his kind of mindset with a lot of them as well, and what he's trying to achieve, and what the project is for, and all that sort of stuff. So really clever guy. Yeah, like really multi-talented as well. Like some of the stuff that he does with this. I mean, this will be the last one, I promise. But like he freezes these rings of metal so that they shrink slightly, and then when they warm back up, they kind of lock into place. I mean, absolutely beautiful piece of metal, just absolutely incredible. Yeah. Very clever guy. Yeah. Right. So that satellite, I've tried that in the past, Vlad, the satellite dish principle, because I mean those satellite dishes are the same thing, right? Parabolic curve that is bringing. So they used to have, the satellite dish used to have the arm that hung out in front of it, right? So all the signals would hit the dish, and then all those signals are then, wherever they strike that dish, are going back to this centralized arm receiver, as it were. I've tried that with a satellite dish. I forget now. I bought one for like 50 quid, even though they're hanging off everybody's house, and yeah, it was kind of. It's in the garage now, but it's kind of a failed project that never really came to fruition, because I don't know whether it wasn't shiny enough. I did cover it in silver, but it just wasn't as. I mean, it was cool, but it certainly wasn't clean light. Yeah. Oh, this guy, yeah. Oh, there you go, yeah. Oh, this is a purpose made one, right? That's not the one he made. Yeah, I was like, hey, oh, that's looking good. Wow. Okay. Maybe my light just wasn't strong enough. Jesus. Oh, the collimated shadow. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you get that with Fresnel's as well, where the shadow doesn't increase in size. Yeah. Okay. See, his doesn't look any shinier than mine. Maybe I just wasn't strong enough. Yeah, he just absolutely beamed it. And it must be clever. I will have a look at that actually. Yeah, he does some crazy stuff, that guy. Where were we? Okay, let's have a look. Oh, you're talking about that. And then we're just kind of looking at, I went down this rabbit warren of looking at lamps and that sort of thing after that, right? Looking at these bunch of lamps and trying to get some inspiration of pieces from there. Gorgeous kind of colors and stuff that would come from that. And then, again, using these, just really playing around with thinking about ideas for lighting and that sort of thing. I put that in there because I thought that was pretty funny. They're charging 150 quid for those ones that I made the other day. And now this was interesting, right? So this caught my eye. You're thinking, okay, doesn't look very very impressive, but this is the same lamp, right? Now I found a video of it being used. I'm going to turn this down. So it's an adjustable lamp. Okay, nothing cool. Okay, so you're just kind of widening it and that sort of thing. Fair enough. Now when you pull the other one though, it flips, right? So you're given this kind of snoot effect. What's interesting about this though is the way that it's bouncing light from behind it, but it's also going to give you this kind of spot of light as well. Okay, so what's kind of like here, for example, so what you would actually get on your subject here, which is what I find kind of interesting about this, is that you get this hard and soft combined. Now you've seen me share Technique Tuesdays in the past where I've kind of used this hard and soft combined, which, long story short, you can have your dish here, right? This is your subject, right? So you got your like regular dish here, and then behind it, like immediately behind it, you can stack your softbox, right? So what you actually get is this really cool light, because what you're getting is the kind of the strong, hard shadows, specularity, nice contrast, great for we used to use this set up a lot back in the day when we were doing hair shoots, right? Because you wanted the kind of contrast and the texture from the hard light, and then you wanted to kind of fill in some of those shadows, so you would use this kind of soft light behind. So what you end up with is this hard and soft combined. What's most important about this is that you can actually adjust these two lights independently, but you can fill in some of those harder shadows, right? So what I find kind of interesting about this is that's kind of what's going on here. You have the hard light, and then with this light being bounced off the white board behind, or white ceiling behind, you would essentially get the same principle, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting. I actually kind of tempted to get something like that, or AliExpress is still selling it for 90 quid for this 2 bits of paper. But still, if you see something like this and you see it cheap, let me know. I'd be interested to kind of play with that, because you've got a bulb in there, you could mount it however you want and then put a board behind it, right? A white board or anything like that, silver reflector, and you're basically getting the two lights in one. So yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah. Okay, I saw a photo lamp that had two opposing facing it. Really? A photo lamp? So like a photo lamp as in it was designed for photographers? Really? So what, it would have one facing forward? I know, right, Sin? Yeah. Look, my wife will tell you the amount of time that I spend in the lighting department is disturbing, right? Of IKEA. Yeah, it is disturbing. I got all sorts of crap here from the IKEA lighting department in various states of disassembly. Uh, as an LED studio lamp, let me try. Yeah, I'd be interested. Yeah, it's interesting. So you think so? He's got one light going forward and one light going back, maybe, because that's like certainly doable, and I think it has. I mean, there'd be no point in making a lamp like that if you're just gonna put two lights opposing like that. You may as well just use two lights. But still, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Ooh, we have anything else here? Oh, Affinity acquired Canva. I did a post recently on, I forgot what it's called. What was it, Adobe Express or something like that? So I have to come clean here. Last week, I mentioned to you guys that I don't normally do guest posts, but Adobe reached out and they wanted to do a guest post talking about Adobe Express, right? And normally I don't do guest posts, but I was away and I didn't really have a chance to put anything together. So I was like, you know what? Let's fine. Okay, I don't know anything about Adobe Express. Send us your article and and I'll share it. Anyway, I said yes. They send it over, and if this is not written by AI, I would be absolutely amazed. Is there a tool out there? There must be, where you can check if something's been written by AI. Is there a tool for that? Must be. AI text checking tool. I mean, what would you even type for? What would you even type for? Oh, AI content detector? Can I just copy and paste it in there? No. Oh, you can paste it in there. Really shouldn't really be calling out Adobe live on stream, but so now what happens then? It just gives you like a percentage or what? No. Or is the red stuff bad? Oh, the AI stuff. The red stuff. Is that right? No, can't be. Let's check a different article. Let's check this fucking nerd out. This guy's a bot, confirmed. That'll be enough. Let's see if it works. So, I apologize for last week's AI article. I kind of wasn't expecting them to do that, but I guess they just wanted to flood the internet with stuff about Adobe Express. How do we get onto this? Oh, we're talking about Canva. That's right. So when I was talking about, I mentioned I hadn't heard of this. A bunch of you guys said, "Oh yeah, it's like Canva." So I presume a bunch of you already use them. Yeah. Can we also come clean and say we didn't click on that? AI text data. I saw one of your reels on IG a while ago, and it looks like you created using Adobe Express images through some shapes. No, I've never used it. Yeah. So yeah, red means the website thinks maybe written by AI. Yikes. I mean, like the first paragraph where they changed my name and stuff, like that was legit. Look, I'm not going to go into this. I'm really not going to go into it, but it's like the internet is just going to be this sea of just crap, right? And it is kind of disappointing that Adobe did that, right? I mean, it's just easy, I guess. Just absolutely just flood the internet with your name, and but it is a shame, man. And like, I was reading it, I was going, there is just no soul in this at all. Obviously I didn't want to call them out, on my post or anything like that. I just fine, whatever. But yeah, that's disappointing. Yeah, it is disappointing. So look, lesson learned. As soon as I posted this as well, any of you, like Vlad, I know I know you do more video and that sort of stuff, but writing articles and that sort of thing. Look, I get asked for guest posts all the time. People, can I write for your Technique Tuesday, that sort of stuff, and I've never accepted them in the past, mainly because I want it to be, it's just my space to share my stuff. I want people to know when they go in, to the website, whatever, that it's coming from me. Fine. So I always say no. But I thought Adobe was like, that's a big name, fine. That's. So the one thing I will say as well is, as soon as this went live, I just got inundated with people asking to write guest posts. Oh, I see you've done guest posts. So just if you go down that route of doing it, just be careful. I think it's actually more trouble than it's worth. Yeah. So the internet will be like Sky TV, Pals of Dross. There is, Netflix is like that as well now. I'm actually gonna suspend my subscription. It's just dross on. It's just difficult to find anything. Yeah. There is no soul in Adobe. I spend time except for that one person who added grain as a slider in Lightroom. Man, yeah. It already is to a great extent. It is, man. Yeah, it is. It's and look, I might just pull that in a couple of months or whatever. Just pull it down, just because it's not a good look. To have 95% of that be here as AI is not a good look, right? Not a good look. What we got here? This is cool if you guys like pretty sexy gadgets like this. I have a light meter, or older cameras, manual cameras, and that sort of stuff, and I have taken a light meter with me because the light meter inside the camera, kind of a little bit sus. This little thing here I thought was pretty damn sexy. You got these two little light meters that just plug into the hot shoe. Really cool, man. Yeah, really cool. I just wanted to. I don't normally call out stuff like that, but I thought they would look pretty slick. And if I did more natural light stuff with my film camera, I would be pretty tempted with that, because I think that looks pretty damn cool. Yeah. This is interesting as well. Talking about AI and that sort of stuff. We mentioned a few months back, like there was an early report that Sony was going to be introducing some way to kind of authenticate that the images within their cameras, or some way that the image that you've taken is actually real, right, and not AI generated. And they said they were going to bring in kind of a firmware update. So Sony just released firmware updates for A7, A1, etc. And the extra updates still on the way for A9. For the firmware updates, as many new features in this article, I'll go over the most important additions. So, what are we doing here? So the camera is trying to prove at the time of capturing it that the image has genuinely been taken, right? So you can kind of read through all that stuff there. So if an image was shot on a camera, who shot it, when, if it was ever edited, is useful in this day and age. People can edit or generate fake media. Sony announced a while ago the CA system will be added to some of their cameras. The recent firmware update Sony delivered that will promise, well, almost. So just talking about not on all cameras. So what is it doing then? So it's interesting. What Sony has kind of developed here is the fact that it's kind of gaining or trying to get knowledge of the fact that it is a 3D object that it's being photographed. So essentially what they're saying here is, if you'd taken a photograph, so it would have been a real photograph, so to try and trick it, like if you go, well, I've taken a real photograph of an AI image, which is what people are doing, Like, just take a real picture, for Christ's sake. So they're saying that even if you were to use the camera to take the image of a fake AI image, that it knows that it's not three-dimensional, right? So the camera is able to work out whether it's 3D, i.e. real or not. So, you know, it's early days. We'll see how this goes. But I think it's a pretty clever workaround for it, you know, as opposed to what the solutions were before, was to put it in metadata that can immediately be removed. So we'll see how. Okay, so the first step is, yes, it can work out that it's a real image, not a flat AI image. Okay, cool. So now we have to work out how it can embed it in that image in some way that it can't be removed, right? So we'll see. But good on Sony for, you know, taking strides in this. I know Nikon is trying to do it as well. As far as I'm aware, Canon not too bothered. but yeah, you know, something to keep an eye on for sure. Yeah, I don't think there was anything else in there. But yeah, Sony shooters, by all means, check out the updates. But that actually came sooner than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be later on this year, but if they're starting to introduce it now, then fair play. Yeah. This I wanted to just talk about. Has anybody used any of the Blackmagic cinema cameras, like 6K and that sort of thing? I think is an absolute monster, but if you look at like the cost of it compared to proper cameras, it's kind of interesting. The kind of shots that I was curious that you get from this, and the kind of results that you get, were surprising, right? And this guy here goes on about, so those shots there are shot on that camera, but it looks like it's shot on like a medium format film camera. And now you could go, well, Jake, there's, you know, he's using all sorts of filters and, you know, nostalgic filters and that sort of stuff. But some of the images that I've seen come out of this video camera, or the stills from it, is actually, you know, kind of gorgeous. And we're not talking about, it's not the resolution and that sort of thing. We're talking about the feel that the images have. I don't know whether he shows it here, but I think he just assumes that you've already got this camera and you know what you're doing. But I just wanted to. Does he show it? So it actually has a video. Oh, I missed it again. But anyway, that's the video button there, the red one, and then the stills button is right next to it. So he was saying it was kind of cool. He was filming this wedding, and then like it's actually a really clever idea, you know. So it's actually the opposite to what we have been doing for years, which is stills guys shooting video. You know, going back to the Canon 5D Mark II, well, you know, that era. So what they're doing now is this guy's using a videographer's, you know, video camera, 6K video camera, and then just to the right of the kind of the record button there is a stills button. So he's like, oh cool, loving this shot, grab a still, boom. So it's actually like gorgeous images that he's getting from it. The only downside, he says, is that you cannot review those still images on the camera. It's so weird. Like, you can only get to see them once you download them. So like I said, it is definitely a video camera, but it's kind of interesting to see, you know, these cameras being kind of used in that way, because the shots that I've seen from this are gorgeous. Yeah. You know, again, like Hollywood look, digital film, that sort of thing. So it's geared up to that kind of cinematic feel to it, and then getting stills with it as well. Interesting results, yeah, for sure. And then lastly, I'm going to be in Switzerland doing a workshop on the 14th. So what is that? Less than 2 weeks. We need to book that flight. So yeah, I'll be out there in Zurich, I think. Yeah, Zurich in a couple of weeks. So any of my European friends over there feel like they can make it to Zurich, which the 14th is a Sunday. Normally the workshops are a Saturday, but this is actually a Sunday. So if anybody can make it over, jazz lighting workshop, that'll be cool, man. Yeah, it'll be cool. It's been a couple of years since I've done a workshop in Switzerland, so it'll be good to head back to again. hopefully I'll be doing it in English. I guess we'll see. So 6K, there has to be a way to stack like 30 SD cards in it if you're planning to video an entire wedding with this. Yeah, I mean, I know nothing about video, but you are right. Like the size of these cards, I think he talks about like the cards in here. There's like two slots, where it just naturally goes over. So what is that? I mean, that's what's that, A2? That's a massive file. That's a big file, man. Yeah, that's a huge file. Yeah. But check out the data that chip is picking up. It's kind of interesting as well that because all our cameras kind of give us that nice rosy, contrasty, saturated image on the back of our cameras, especially Sony, right? Those guys know how to trick photographers into buying their cameras. The LCD screen on the back of those things is nuts. But it's kind of interesting to see like the log footage coming in out of it. Yes, it's good. Yeah. But that's more than enough though, Vlad. Like, when do you need... I mean, I know mine's 45, but I mean, I shot for... I guess, I know you can say that about anything, but yeah, I shot for like 10 years on the D610, whatever it was, and that's 24. It's more than enough, man. Yeah, it's more than enough. Yeah. Switzerland, yeah, it's beautiful, man. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. People are so friendly as well. Yeah, like really friendly. Yeah, really good. We done that. Okay, so just close that, and we will close this because I know that tanks the system as well. Okay, I'm not saying we need more. I'm saying wow, that's a lot. Oh, I see, Vlad. Sorry. I'm so used to people like the rebuttal the whole time. It's not 100 megapixels. Then I'm just not going to use it. Sorry, Vlad. Yeah. So we kind of spoke about AI and that sort of stuff, and we're starting to see more and more of these kind of programs, if you want to call it that, or software coming out now, where it's doing the retouching for us. So like I think last year there was this AI software, and I hate to even say it out loud to even give it weight, but there was AI software that you would point it to like the style of a photographer's work that you liked. This was big in the wedding industry, right? So like wedding shooters have got different styles, like some nice warm rich orangey colors, some like muted greens and all that sort of stuff, lifted blacks, all that sort of stuff. So and you could point it towards somebody's portfolio and go, make my images look like that, and it would. Right, and that was its whole selling point was that you could go in and choose like the profile, and they have photographers on there that had uploaded their profiles, and doing that. So I was seeing more and more of these kind of AI softwares coming out, and this was just one that came across. I mean, there's loads of these at the moment, but this is one that kind of came across my screen here, and you basically upload it, and then it's essentially got Lightroom and Photoshop all rolled into one. And I downloaded it like an hour before I got on stream, and it was like 30 megs or something like that. So it's definitely doing a lot of the power elsewhere. Although I say that it was 30 megs, you then open it up and then I think it downloads more, but still it's definitely doing a lot. So you got usual stuff here and all that sort of stuff, and the pricing is kind of interesting, right? So free trial, anybody can download it, and then once you get going, this is the costing for it. So you don't buy the software, you're not even renting the software, but what you are doing is paying for the exports, right? It's kind of interesting. So like the minimum here, as far as I can tell, I haven't really looked into it too far, but the minimum here is like 1,200 credits, right? So that's for what, $84, or I don't know, what's that, 70 quid or something, 65 quid, something like that. That would be the minimum spend, and then you get 1,200 exports. Now for a lot of people, like that's a lot. I don't know whether it counts like the imports or it's just counting the exports. But yeah, so anyway, I know, Vlad. Yeah, the filter stacks. Yeah, nice. I don't need shots to make filters. There are 999 apps like this out there. I'm curious if there's one who won't use your images later. That is, it's a good point, Vlad, because it is what using the cloud to do it. Yeah. So I downloaded it. Let's just hope I haven't just virused my system forevermore. But yeah, let's see what we got here. So let's see. Can I? Let's bring you fellas back there. There we go. 1,200 exports for me. Probably 1 year, but there's always probably one winning. Exactly right, Vladdy. I mean, I don't export anywhere near 1,200 a year. No way. But if you're in a busy studio, which is what I mean, years ago when I worked in a very, very, very busy studio where we're kind of exporting 40 images for a session, we may be doing 6 to 8 sessions a day, you're going to quite quickly burn through that. But anyway, so let's just have a look at the exploration side of things here. And right, it's going to give us, you've got some presets and stuff here, so nothing crazy. Can't even tell that it's doing anything that is supernatural, apparently. So now it's starting to do some stuff there. Anyway, okay, let's close the presets. Let's have a look what we got here. Reset all effects. So we got some trial images here, and let's have a look. So up here we've got like the color adjustments. So in here we've got, this looks super familiar, right? It just looks real familiar. So you got even the way that like the wording and stuff is all exactly the same. White balance, the exposure, contrast, highlight, clarity, vibrance, right? All kind of looking familiar, right? HSLs, exactly the same. It's a new skin, lad. Yeah, you can download this new overlay for Lightroom. So you get the idea, right? It's exactly the same. All right, it's exactly the same. So you can do everything in Lightroom here that you would normally be used to. Oh, look, we got some grain here, man. Oh, look, tonal ranges of grain, shadows. There you go. Right, it's already shadow grain, mid-tone grain, highlight grain. Just saying. Okay, so you got that, right? So then we come down. Did I see something a minute ago? Where was that? AI color looks. So in here we've got presets, right? And there's another area for presets in a minute, but like these presets tend to kind of look at the image and try and achieve the kind of look that you're after, but whilst looking at the actual image, as opposed to just overlaying it completely. So it is what it is. So it's that. Now in here, in this drop down here, is like we're kind of getting into like the portrait retouching. So what's that button there? Oh, you actually assign a face. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Just in case it was struggling to work out where the face was. So we got the basic stuff here, right? So we got the basic blemish, freckles, acne, that sort of stuff. Okay, simple. So body, fine. Glasses, glare, wrinkles, eye wrinkles, eye bags. Okay, I mean that did a very good job of nailing those. Okay, preserve agiosal. What that is? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. So we got smile lines. Fine. Okay. stomach stretch marks. Really like targeted things, right? That it's then going to search for and then remove. So we've got the skin retouching here, and like this is going to be, and this she doesn't actually have too much. Can I zoom in? Okay. So we got smoothing, which I presume is going to be okay. So what's important about this is the AI part is that it's looking at specific areas of the image and working it out. And you can go, because in the past and Photoshop and other plugins in Photoshop would look at skin color, right? It would look at, okay, like we don't have the ergonomics of thousands of faces to choose from, so these kind of tools that we used in Photoshop in the past would really just kind of do it by skin tone, and you would either predetermine, or like if you had dark skin or different colored skin, that sort of thing, you could target the skin. But for the most part, for Caucasian skin, it would automatically select it based on skin and then smooth accordingly. But with this, it's kind of doing it instantaneously, and I haven't tested it extensively, but for the most part, pretty accurate. The texture slider here is interesting, right? So we can either go actually bring tons of that texture back if you wanted to. When I say back, I would assume that it's probably adding texture, like skin texture map to that, right? And then we got face complexion. I have no idea what that is. No. Body. So here as well, we can kind of skin color. Oh, okay. So you can warm her skin up. And that was pretty off the rip. I mean, that was pretty good, right? We can actually adjust the temperature of the skin as well. Skin radiance, is that going to give us shine? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. And then, so now we're getting into the Korean MMO character designer here. And this is just a general face shape. You can go into the eyebrows, like the eyes. So eyeball size. Yeah, okay. So face shape. Yeah, so you can really, but the fact that it's instantaneous, right? Because it's kind of worked it all out there. You can pop out the cheekbones a little bit. Give us that model jaw. So we got the face size. Obviously we make that bigger or smaller. Jaw length. Right, so it's basically taking the bottom half of the face and kind of elongating it. Face width. This should be the middle part or the bottom part. Yeah, so we can kind of. Now, don't get me wrong. You can kind of do this in Photoshop, with liquify and stretch and all that sort of stuff as well. But the AI aspect is the fact that it can instantly target the areas that it knows that you're talking about. It works out exactly what part of the face that you want to be looking at. Hairline. Oh, nice. Get rid of the 5 head. Nice. So even like facial expressions, gentle smile. This is how terrifying this is going to be. Not actually too bad, to be fair. Teeth touch up. Eyes. So I presume brightness, that sort of stuff. I mean, pretty good. It's kind of interesting. So there must actually be real eyes that they're using, because some of the catch lights in there are actually like studio catch lights. Interesting. Yeah. Makeup, right? This I thought was kind of, that's a lot, right? There's a lot to do with the makeup here, which is kind of crazy. Do they have any coloring? That's a good point, Val. I don't know actually. I didn't see the color slider for the grain. Yeah, face completion sounds like adding mouth. To be honest, I really want to make a stupid joke, especially because you have that cyberpunk chair, but YouTube exactly. It's the scope of what it can do. It is. It is Sterling. Yeah, it is kind of all the highlight, contouring as well, right? So adding the contouring down here. What? Look, I don't recommend you use this, but I do think it is kind of interesting to see. Like if you're not sure about retouching, like a lot of you watching this now probably have the skills to do a lot of things in Photoshop already, right? You know how to dodge and burn, basic stuff like that. So this I find kind of interesting to see as contouring. Okay, so if you're not sure what you should be dodging and burning in Photoshop, you can actually use this as a kind of idea. Okay, so I should be coming in here, maybe a little bit in here, highlights, that sort of stuff. Eyebrow makeup. Oh, the bushy brows are in at the moment, guys, just so you know. So you can add the makeup here, the saturation, bring that down, the luminance of the eyes, that's nice. Yeah, dimensionality. Oh yeah. So smoky eye. Interesting. So we got the lip makeup. Okay, yes, we can reduce that. Saturation. Okay. Again, dimensionality. Again, like dodge and burning, that sort of thing. What you should be looking for. So now here we get into like the crazy AI side of it now. So we got that like the basic stuff, right? So just classic, a bit over the top. I mean, it's changing the shape of like almost the expression and stuff here. I know you can do this like Vlad says. This is all like phone stuff and that sort of thing. But it is kind of interesting to see it happening. And again, I don't know what size this file is, but I mean, it's doing it from the cloud. This is pretty natural, right? This is kind of, and you can dial this in. So we're at 80% here. You can dial, you can dial these in. So I mean, it's got the cat eyes and that sort of stuff. So again, like Vlad said, this has been around on apps for a long time, but being able to do it on high resolution images and that sort of thing. But again, it's interesting to see what the AI thinks, makeup wise, what you could be doing, in terms of, how do I retouch a face? Like, what should I do with these eyes? Or that sort of thing. It might be interesting to actually just plug it in and see where you should be going with it, right? So let's have a look down here. You got hair lastly. So fill hairline part. So I guess that'll be this bit here, right? Did it do it? Oh, it did. Okay. Okay, darkened down. High cranial top. So bring that. Okay, so if you had like bigger hair, you could give that a little bit of a bump. Hairline. Oh, nice. Yeah. Bring the hairline down. Okay. Remove stray hairs. Ooh. Okay. Did it do it? Just crank it all the way to the right. If it's not on 11, so it didn't do anything. Interesting. Oh, it did. It's just thinking about it. Okay, so it did it. It was just thinking about it. Okay, so it just takes a while. So the other thing this kind of mentioned I saw was that the export size at the moment of this is, I think, 4,000 pixels, right? Which is just under, like 4,500 pixels is what, A3. So like it's it's not colossal, but it's certainly big enough, right? Especially for Instagram, right? But so yeah, so we got all that sort of thing there. So wow, I didn't realize we'd done that much. Now you can dial some of that back, But how do we zoom out? I'm doing the oh, it's 100%. Yeah, we need to go to so obviously you can dial any of that back, like the makeup. You know, you can dial the makeup way back. Dial all of that back, to be fair. So we got full body and stuff here. This model has huge lips anyway. But all these things applying to, because this is, it separates it between body skin smoothing and face skin smoothing as well, which is really nice. Those of you that don't know, like the pores on the skin are really densely packed, right? So like and the veins can be far fewer veins and that sort of thing, whereas like the arms, the stomach, thighs and that sort of stuff, you know, pores are really far apart. So if you're doing skin smoothing or anything like that, usually you need to be doing a completely different amount to the actual body as you are to the face. So, you know, it's interesting that it's got that as well. Separator, body protection. We've got blemish removal. We've seen that. Skin retouching, fine. Facial reshape. So the chin, we already spoke about that. Facial expression. Yep, the eyes. Makeup, yeah. Okay. Oh, full body reshape. There you go. What I find interesting about this is, because obviously it's taking in like the arms a different amount. Interesting. How's it going to extend the height? Okay, so the feet stay there. The head stays the same size. So it's doing most of it. So it's doing most of that stretching here. So it actually just gives you longer legs. That's pretty clever. I'm not falling for that. And the waist, usual stuff. Okay. So, like I said, I mean, yeah, if that's not a Korean MMO character creation screen in real life, then I don't know what is, right? Let's have a look. This is a raw file. What else we got there? Oh, we got the background. Let's have a look at some of these. So it's just quickly switch back into Lightroom. Let's have a look at these. Ooh, classic. Do you see what I mean about it being a little bit more intelligent about the presets? Vibe. Like it's certainly being far smarter with it, right? Especially with the coloring on these AI presets, is far smarter. Yeah. Which I mean that's what presets needs, to be fair, because presets have always been really bad for that. Yeah. Okay. Now, oh, interesting. Yes, and then it just shows you all the things that it's done here. Okay, that's cool. So what's it done in the color grading? A little bit of a kick in the midtones, kick in the greens, kick in the oranges. Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting to see what it's doing. But yeah, I mean, pretty simple, pretty quick. Again, I would assume you could do this on practically any system because it's doing it, you know, via the cloud. And so I am going to be a dick and see if this teeth touch up works here. Pretty teeth. Oh. Oh shit! What's it like, man? It's terrible, isn't it? Wow. Okay. So what's this? I think this is background here. Background adjustments. We just fit this. So, like, can you just? Okay. It's just a couple of little bits there. It's missing, but like for the most part, transparent. But the fact that it's doing that in just one click, I mean, obviously you can do all this in Photoshop, but the fact that it's doing it in one click, fine, okay. What's this then? Is this clothing? Clothing adjustment? De-wrinkle clothing? Oh. Interesting. I don't think they've got any there, but okay, you can see a little bit there. Okay, so bunch of stuff there. Yeah, interesting. And then, yeah, again, you're only being charged for the export, so you can play around with that as much as you want, I reckon. Yeah, well, they got healing and that sort of stuff. I was just kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting Lightroom to be in here as well, right? I was expecting to have all the usual crap, but I was not expecting all this to be like literally everything from Lightroom in there. I mean, you know, if you don't do a huge amount and you don't want to spend whatever it is a month for the Adobe suite, then yeah, this is gonna get you a lot of the way there. Yeah. We'll get to viewing more discipline than me. Do you know what I'm thinking of? Long story short, is basically the character in a video game. Exactly, you know. So yeah, exactly. In Cyberpunk, you can customize. Exactly. Yeah. Even with it being an excerpt, being able to simply adjust so easily and so simply all these different parameters is something I would do. It's just expensive, but maybe worth it. Is it expensive? Is it expensive, Sterling? I mean, like I said, I wouldn't do it, but like it's kind of expensive, I suppose. Off the rip, you got to spend what, 70 quid or something on it. But 1,200, I think that is. I'm sure it's exports, not uploads. Yeah, batch energy, one photo. But yeah, I mean, you know, by all means, you know, try it out. I don't think that's expensive personally. Whatever it is, half a penny, as low as. So what's this one? This is 0.7 of a cent, which would be half a penny UK. So, you know, yeah. Looks even better than if we did makeup ourselves. I know, like some of the makeup is crazy because it's a huge aspect of photography that I think a lot of photographers now, you know, maybe aren't hiring makeup artists and that sort of thing. And I don't even, what do I ask for? I mean, you know, this can kind of give you a little bit of education as to, oh, I see what's going on with the eyes here, and I can, you know, see this and see that, and I can see what happens when we just bring this out, or I can see what happens when I dodge and burn the cheekbones here, because, you know, we all know how to do that. It's just maybe we're not sure what we should be doing and shouldn't be doing. But the makeup thing seemed pretty accurate, pretty quick. Yeah. The straight hair feature is take my money. Right. I know, right? Yeah, the straight hair is a nightmare. I mean, it took, you know, I mean, it didn't take long, did it? I mean, but you know, it certainly was thinking about it. Yeah. Hey Amanda, how you doing? This plugin is not a plugin. This is a separate piece of software called Evoto software. Here is kind of like an AI software that you just download. I just downloaded it. I think, you know, get started, it takes you to a download. It's a 30 meg download. You open it, I think it downloads like a gig, something like that, and then you can just start playing it. So what you're seeing me playing with there, I don't have Photoshop open. It's just this separate piece of software there. So very, very powerful for what it's doing. And we're going to see more and more of these. Yeah. Hey Twixler, how you doing? Hopefully that explain what this is. It's called Devoto, some Lightroom and AI, Photoshop stuff. Yeah. It's one of the many AIs that came out lately Charge per export. Charging per export is an interesting one. You know, you got your credits sat there. I don't know. There's an expiration date on them, but 2 devices. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Seems if you were like my wife, for example, right? So she does makeup and nails and all that sort of stuff. You know, she doesn't need to purchase the full Adobe suite, but she wants to work on images occasionally. You know, you just go, do you know what? Let's just dump 60 quid into credits or whatever, and then, you know, she's pretty much going to have a lifetime's worth of credits there. You know, it's like 1,200 images is going to keep her for like a lifetime. You know, you know, and for somebody who doesn't want to sit in there and pixel peep everything, you know, I could see that becoming very, very popular. Now, what we need to watch out for is you know, starting to see models kind of coming out with that, with these preset makeup looks. Yeah. Seeing all they can do, I think it would be godsend for a photographer working for a marketing company where you have to pump out a ton of social media posts every day. Exactly, yeah. I'll get bored, have to pull on all those arty photos. Yeah, so the other thing as well, Vlad, is, and the reason it kind of stuck in my mind was years ago when I worked in a busy studio, we would have a lot of portrait clients come in, like family portraits, that sort of thing, individual portraits, whatever, corporate headshots, that sort of thing. So you know, you'd spend an hour or so in the studio with the client. You maybe take 300 images, right? And you know, we had different pricing plans at the time. You know, it was either like pay up front and get this, or you know, pay a little bit and then you pay for the images. So that pricing plan meant that what we had to do was we had to kind of blow their socks off, as it were. So you know, we got them in, and then it was up to us to kind of show them how amazing the images were. So what we would do is we would retouch very basically, you know, and we'd use, you know, basic actions and that sort of stuff. We take these 300 images and like kind of retouch like 40 of the best shots, and then show them these 40 images. Now they would have to be projected being on a screen, and they would have to be good enough that the client would go, wow, yeah, these are looking really cool. I would like to buy these. So this piece of software here would be so good for that, because it would take us like 2 hours or so to retouch 40 images. I mean, you know, really, if you were really going for it, you could get it done in an hour. But still, you could just buzz this out very, very quickly, especially like the face thing, all that sort of stuff. You know, dial it in, especially if you're working in your own studio where, you know, the lighting and that sort of stuff for different setups would be fairly consistent. You know, in a busy studio, you could kind of knock through these, and it'd be minimal cost to yourself. You know, minimal risk, right? Because the risk before was, well, we got to have, you know, one of the togs working on Photoshop for 2 hours when they could be in the studio shooting, right? So you got to pull them off one thing. You could just buzz this through. So busy studios, like you said, weddings and stuff, just rattling out images, which are, this is where their pricing plan is you know, is really going to come into it, but. Still, like, you know, what is that? I mean, you could probably get 4 or 5 weddings out of that, right? Out of 60 quid, 70 quid. It's not bad, you know. Anyway, I thought I'd mention it because I think we're going to start to see more and more of these popping up. You know, and it's kind of bringing all the kind of heavy sort of features of Lightroom. I was really surprised at the features that had from, like, I mean, every feature that I could see beyond like the different modules at the top, but all the actual features in the develop module are there, really. So, and then on top of that, you're bringing in tons and tons of phone app sort of features as well that would just make it a lot easier to use. Yeah, interesting times indeed. Yeah. No color grain though. Yeah. That's, yeah. What did they have anything in the grain thing? They just had it. Grain. Oh, they got lens corrections in there. Vignetting, basic stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, color variation. I never doubted it. Let's have a look. Let's see how good this is. Let's have a look at this one just real quick, then we move on. I promise, guys. Vlad made me do it. So overall grain strength. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so you've got the shadows, midtones, highlights, size, roughness, and then color variation. Okay, yeah. Oh, you can definitely see that there now. Yeah, definitely see that color in there now. It's kind of a weird slider. So like 50% is they just reduce the saturation, or oh, it's still that's interesting. It actually maintains. I don't think it is reducing saturation. It does seem to have. Just seems to keep a lot of the reds. Interesting. Huh. Anyway. I mean, yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad. Obviously, Dehancer, a specialized tool for professionals, is going to be better than this, Vlad. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Okay, right. If you're interested, take a look. If you give it a go, yeah, I'd be interested to see what you guys. I'm nothing to do with them. It just came up. I just thought, look, I kept seeing a bunch of these being advertised to me on Instagram and that sort of thing. I was like, right, let's just see what these damn things do. So yeah. Right. Let's have a look then. What we got going on here? Let's give this a quick refresh. But yeah, any questions about anything that we covered there, or you want links for anything specifically, just let me know. Okay. Right, so what we'll do is we'll go through some of these images that you guys have shared. We can maybe have a little bit of a play with them, put them into Photoshop, have a little bit of a play in terms of color grading is usually what we have a look at. But yeah. So if you're new, then you can share your images here in the Share a Shoot post, which is last night's post on my Facebook page. Do these live streams every couple of weeks. And if you just joined, whack it in there, we can have a look. But let's have a look. So the first one we got here from Alex. You can guess who I stole this lighting setup from. Oh, nice. Yeah, was a TFP in a barn studio in Nottingham. Cool, man. Yeah, okay. So this was a setup that I was kind of playing with and shared. I think last week or something like that. So Alex has jumped on that. Yeah, really cool. And it's good. Yeah, got that nice contrast between the green on top left there with the red on bottom right. That's cool as well. Kind of difficult as well to get some of these like low light, very kind of minimal contrast shots. It's very difficult to kind of get that detail because it can be overdone, right? Like I think cinematic looks like this work really well where it's super low light, you can see what's going on, but it's not like let's just put a spotlight on somebody. My point being is I think you've done nice to balance out the exposure here. Yeah. This as well, it's like you can't really do too much about this. This is a little bit hot here in terms of brightness. You can't really do too much about it here because I think it's kind of nice here. And you go, well, Jake, if it's right here, it's because obviously the skin's shiny, right? So the skin is getting this specularity, which is like a direct reflection from that light. So nothing you can do about it other than just to knock it back a little bit in post. That's fine. That's just the way it is. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, glad to see you playing with it. Love the atmosphere we've got here as well. I think it works really well. I think I see so many people playing with smoke and it's just like smoke. It's like, okay, do we want to be adding atmosphere or do we want to be adding, this kind of heavy, I'm using smoke point. Yeah. Oh, you're in here. Nice. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think the smoke is bang on here. I think it adds this kind of helps with the grad, because remember, like if we didn't have atmosphere here, this would just be pretty much black, but the fact that the smoke is here is kind of picking up the green at the top here, which I think is really nice. And this is a really useful tool if you're in a studio. I know you're in there's a barn studio, so you're in a studio. Yeah, so if you're trying to add interest like smoke and then shining light on specific areas of that atmosphere can really help to kind of give you some interest and separation back there. So I think you've done a really good job of balancing that. It's really nice. Yeah, it's good. Here we go. Here we go. This is one of my studio selfies from last week. It didn't get much love on social media. I suspect it's because much better on a big screen than on mobile. My struggle here was to get light from behind the subject on the background wall and have it without hotspots. Okay. I guess a projector or optical snoot would have been handy, but I don't have any of those. I'm not even sure I could get a big enough white wall to be able to use my 35mm on this with one of them anyway, and I wanted to go 35 for distortion. Okay, so what you're saying is you want 35 here. Okay. Okay. But you wanted to reduce the hotspot back here. Interesting. Yeah. This is one of the simplest light steps I've ever done. I found a solution, Fresnel bounce to the ceiling for the yellow wall. Yeah, there's several ways that you can approach this, right? This hotspot thing, right? I'm going to open up this 3D software. If it becomes way too laggy, like the stream, I'll just close it and I'll just talk about it. But I don't have anything else open. Yeah, okay. Right, if it just becomes too laggy, just say, and I'll just close it. So we can kind of talk about a couple of different ways of doing this. So what Vlad's trying to get there, I mean, correct me if I'm misunderstanding you, Vlad, but you want no hotspot on the background, right? You're trying to get a nice even light on the background. Because yeah, like the normal response is to have this color at the back. See how slow that took to open. This color at the back, but you end up with this kind of okay, yeah. So we want a white wall. Let's find us a model here. Is it just being super laggy, or is it trying to load them in? There we go. Just going to get 8 models up here now. Let's have... Okay, so the typical thing to do, those of you who never use this software, it's called Satellite 3D. So it's great for like building lighting setups in a studio. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's just raise that up a little bit. See, as you can see there, it's brighter behind, right? So I think that's what Vlad's trying to remove. Yeah, so you get that kind of vignette where it's brighter behind and then it fades off into this. And I think what Vlad's trying to do is get rid of that. So one thing you can do is just to bring this light further away, which essentially expands the hotspot so that the hotspot gets kind of bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it kind of almost, you don't have that vignetting effect or hotspotting effect, but it's not very practical because you very rarely have that much space, and secondly, you're just bouncing a ton of light around a room, so it's not particularly useful. Okay, so one thing that Vlad mentioned was the like projector or gobo type thing, and you know, you can definitely do that. So you just bring in your optical snoot, and let's have a look. And immediately we can get this very kind of clean color, right? With no hotspots or anything like that. So you can do it with that. There are certain caveats with this, like some of the optical snoots and that sort of thing still vignette because you're using like a camera lens on them, so they do vignette, but still possible. So yeah, that would be kind of an easier solution. What else can we do? This is kind of a trickier one to do, but I've done it several times for corporate headshots and that sort of thing, where you are in a smaller space, and you're like traveling by yourself. Like this was years ago, you know, be traveling in London on the tubes, and I'm not carrying like 8 lights around with me, so I've got like 2 lights. I'm trying to make it work. So what you're doing is you're basically feathering the backlight. So let me explain what that is a second. So let me just even this out. So you're essentially getting even light from one side, and you know, it seems a bit counterintuitive to begin with, right? Because obviously it's going to be far brighter here. So what you need to do is you need to get the position of this light. I'm just going to need to get the position of this light in such a way that it's close enough to this one side of the wall, and then pointed towards the other side, and you're essentially feathering it out like that. So so I'm trying to give it, obviously grey is going to be the easiest to, or the harder to tell over white. White's pretty easy to do. Right, so we want to keep angling it away, but you can see what's happening here. I'm angling it towards this back, like the far corner on the other side, right? And here we're kind of getting it pretty even. Okay, so we've got it very even on that side. Now Vlad, I saw, had a like a board there anyway, so if you wanted to keep the light off him, just bring that in there. Cool. Okay, so what's actually happening here, just checking you guys could see it. So what's actually happening here with this feathering is, I'll just show you. So if you're standing at the background, right, you're standing here and you're looking back towards that softbox, right, what you're seeing is, this is what you're seeing, right? You're seeing a sliver of the softbox. If you're standing at the background looking back at that softbox and it's pointed out like this, you're seeing a sliver of that softbox, right? So from you looking at that, your light source is a tiny sliver of light, yeah? So it's not getting that much light because it's tiny, but you're really close to it. Okay. Now, if you're standing here and you look at this softbox, the softbox is now far bigger, right? So if I'm standing at the other side of the backdrop, I'm looking back at it, I'm looking at the softbox almost pointed directly at me. So I'm seeing this wide open softbox, but I'm further away. Okay, so the way that the feathering works here is the physics of small amount of size of light but closer to it versus being further away but far bigger light. Okay, so that's how you can kind of feather out light on a background to get this very clean, even tone of light. And again, like, you know, again, I've done this in smaller offices and that sort of thing, and like it seems a bit scary at the time because it's just like, this is ridiculous. It's just, how am I going to evenly light the background with one light? You're basically using this kind of, you know, simple physics there to make it work, right? So the distance versus the size, that's kind of what you're working with there. Okay. And then there's one other way that this may be what I would recommend for what you were doing there in terms of ease of use, is just going to be to add a scrim in here. It doesn't, I mean, you don't have to buy a scrim if you can just buy diffusion material, which you must already have. I hate the fact that these always come in targeted at the subject. Okay, so those of you who don't know, like scrim is, just think of the front of a softbox. That's what a scrim is, this big amount of diffusion material. So I noticed I said, if it gets too laggy, tell me, and then I haven't looked at chat. If you guys are still there. So what you want to do is you want to double diffuse this light. So you're basically bouncing the light off of that background, and then you're putting this scrim in here. Now this won't show you because I think the software only bounces light once, so it won't show you this light being diffused through this. Is it your, yeah, there you go. But yeah, I mean, oh, the scrim's back to front. The scrim only allows light through one side as well. Okay, nice. So yeah, so you would essentially have this light pointed at the background, and then you place that scrim behind. So what ends up happening is you end up having this double diffusion type situation, right? Where the light's bouncing off that, it's coming back, and then as it's coming through the scrim, and you end up getting rid of almost no hotspot at all. And if you've got, I mean, you can buy this diffusion material from Amazon like super cheaply. You can get like 20 quid gets you like 6 meters by 3 meters, something like that. So you can just double it up. If I've still got too much hotspot there, just double it up, and it pretty much removes it entirely. So you've got, what do we go through, like at least 3 different ways of evening out, or 4 different ways there. Move the hotspot further away, that spreads it out. Secondly, we can like feather it, right? So we can use a larger softbox, you know, like a large square rectangle, or even a stripped softbox to a certain extent. You can feather it, just use something like a projector or an optical snoot, or then lastly just double diffuse it. Okay, and that's gonna get rid of most of them. Feathering stuff is just smart. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's kind of a lost art. You don't really see people doing it anymore. But yeah, that would it always surprises me when you do it, because you're setting it up and you're going, fucking no, this is not going to work, right? This is this isn't going to work. And then like you just get it into the sweet spot, and boom, yeah, it kind of it's really effective. Yeah, really effective. No worries, cat. No worries. Yeah, a big scream, but I understand where you're going with it. Yeah, yeah. You just get the diffusion material from Amazon. I think I know I've sent it to you before, but Amazon. What was it? I'm kind of oh, there you go. It is there? 20 quid. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, 6 by 1.5, which is loads. Like you can double that up. So I bought a couple of packs of these, and yeah, they're just great to throw them up on windows or something like that, hang them on curtain rails and that sort of thing. Yeah, if any of you guys watching this, just get yourself some of this. You'll always end up using it. Like I said, you can stack it. So I mean, I think I've cut mine into 2. So I've got 2 sheets of 3 meter by 1.5 meter, right? And I can use them in different places, or I can just hang them simultaneously. Super useful. You use it all the time. Yeah, and it costs like next to nothing. And if you go, well, how am I going to hang it up? You just use two light stands and like a crossbar. Job done. Oh, nice one, Sterling. Well done. Using Mylar and multiple LEDs. This is cool. Yeah, this is cool. This is like real creative stuff, man, which is good. Yeah, it's always good to see what you're working on, because you're always doing something wacky with color, which is nice. This is a really shallow depth of field shot, Sterling. If you're still here, what was this shot on? We've been starting to see like bokeh appearing on like the shoulder and stuff here. We've got tons of noise there for Vlad, and these effects like added in post, like these flares and stuff. Her 4E. Oh, here. I think you meant here. No worries. Yeah. Yeah. So these flares added in like post, or are you holding something in front of the lens? Or yeah. No worries, Darren. Yeah. What was this shot on then? Because we got this like bokeh here on the shoulder. Like what aperture was this? Must be super shallow. So yes, they were added in post. So the Mylar, so she's lying on the Mylar, right? Yeah. I mean, that's a reflection from the Mylar, from the silver mica. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Do you know what aperture you're on, Sterling? Silver mica to her face. Okay. I mean, it's great for color, right? That means it's going to pick up the color. Yeah. I'm trying to think, what's that photographer called? Is it at least the... I'm never going to remember that. She does something kind of similar to this. Where is that link gonna take me? Okay, that's fine. Liz. I think it's Liz. There we go. So her stuff is like this as well, like real kind of anti-quality, like almost blown in the highlights and stuff, right? Here you go. I'm not going to, like, I know it's blurred, but I'm just not going to risk it. But you can kind of see what I mean here, right? Where it's kind of blown in the highlights. She does a lot of this sort of thing as well. So if you're kind of looking for inspiration, yeah, love her work. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's incredible work, absolutely incredible. But it is interesting, she rides that line of being incredibly artistic and creative. Like she rides that line between being that and just being just messy, right? And it's very, very, very difficult to do, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for, again, like see these kind of blown highlights and stuff, definitely. Is it something that you like? Was this kind of inspiration for your project, or was it kind of subconsciously maybe giving you inspiration and that sort of thing? But yeah, so the reason I'm bringing that up is because it's very kind of difficult to give like CC respectively on something that's so obviously creative and out there, right? So giving critique on this, like my knee-jerk reaction here is just to ease off on the highlights here on the, like, because I think we've got this nice highlight here, we can kind of get away with it, especially with the noise kind of soaking up some of that almost clipped data there, but the forehead is just maybe a touch bridge too far. That is what I would say if I was giving you feedback, but because this is, such a kind of artistic and creative shot, it's kind of difficult to do so. So my kind of feedback here is to go through and see how do you say her name? Elizaveta, nailed it. See how she kind of works with it. See how she renders some of her final post. Yeah, 3.2. Oh, really? Is that? Oh, interesting. Yeah, subconsciously. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, the sparkle from silver is a tough one. It is really difficult, Sterling. Yeah, it's really difficult. It's good that you're picking up on that. So you need to kind of take that on board and go. The next time you do it, I got to underexpose it. Right? I just got to underexpose it. That's it. Now, sometimes we as photographers need to be mindful of the final image, not necessarily the midway point, which is the raw. So what I'm getting at here is, like, if I'm shooting red gels, right, I'm going to underexpose those images usually by about 1 to 2 stops, right? And I know they're heavily underexposed, but I know that it gives me the maximum amount of data in a color that is very difficult to render on digital chips and monitors and all that sort of stuff as well. So I know that I need to underexpose it to make sure that I have maximum data there. Now that's experience. Now, somebody watching me on the day is going, this guy don't know what he's doing. Those shots are well underexposed, So think about creating an image for the final, not necessarily the midpoint, which is the raw. Yeah, and this is obviously counter to what many people are taught. But if you need to shoot the image fairly flat in terms of contrast, then do it, and then you have maximum amount of data to work with later on as well. So don't be afraid to underexpose something, knowing that it's going to give you the data that you need to push and pull afterwards. You want to do metallic? Yeah, I mean, you definitely achieved that. Yeah, her arms weren't covered with it. It was one reason. Gotcha. Okay. I tried to add shimmer those two curves and saturation. Nice. Look, I mean, job done, right? When I first saw that image that you showed me, that's the kind of vibe that I got of the work that you kind of love, right? So I mean, job done on your part. You're kind of achieving that sense of look. So like you're definitely there. We've got a shot here from Thomas. A few days ago I mentioned about a green-yellow photo that I think would look better with blue instead. This is the photo. The colour setup inspiration for this was Poison Ivy. She is sometimes portrayed with green skin. This way I went with green. Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, no worries, darling. Yeah, thanks for sharing the shot. Yeah. Okay. So this is really cool, Thomas. Yeah, this is really good. Just looking at the separation here. Green's coming in nice. I think it's a nice mix. Got a lot of data here in the color, which is good. We've got that hotspot as well, which we kind of already spoken about with Vlad. Loving this crown, whatever you want to call it, tiara, headdress, whatever it is. Really, really cool. Yeah. I feel like this teal greeny color is a touch bright, just in terms of kind of blowing out a little bit. Not much though. Just something to watch. I think even if you wanted to, you could definitely bring that back if you wanted to. But I think this is really good. I think we got a bunch going on here, but in terms of lighting, but I think it's really clear. Nice catch lights in the eyes as well. Loving the pose. You're nice. You're down nice and low, which is good. Really empowering her, especially with that headdress on. Really, really nice. Just one thing, if I'm nitpicking, just be careful. I think this is fine. I think she's actually posed her hands really well here, so I don't think this is the problem. Just remember that we can spin those hands around, so we just have the thumb, so it's far cleaner. So she can be posing like that, and then just get her to spin the hand around. And then we also, when she does that, we'll see the thinner part of the wrist, and we'll kind of lose some of these fingers as well, right? So just clean up the pose a little bit. I don't think it's a problem. I think we have plenty going on up here. What with the the chest straps, the headpiece, and that sort of thing. I don't think this is distracting at all. I think this is fine. Just something to bear in mind for the future. Yeah, really good, really nice. Oh, you're here, Thomas. Nice. Yeah, interesting. I was actually trying to make it even brighter. It's like the reason I'm kind of hesitant on that, right? In fact, let's see if we can open up Photoshop. Let's have a look. So as soon as we start to do that, as soon as we start to brighten out, we kind of lose the color. Yeah. So like gels will have this saturation limit, and you are right on the cusp of that one there, because we can kind of start to see it breaking apart a little bit there in the highlights. So that's kind of where you know that you're at the limit of that. Now, if we just darken it down, it's going to bring out some of that green, which I think could be nice. Yeah, it looks like there's some shine on the face there. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's just been slow because I got the stream open. Wow, it's chugging along. Never a good sign. Hopefully now that it's open, it'll be okay, right? Maybe it's because it's just downloading all the cloud stuff. So there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. I mean, we could have a look here, see what we got. So where is, so we obviously we start to bring in the banding. I'm just kind of curious. I'll bring the background back in a minute. I'm just kind of... Okay, so let me just grab the... God, if we had that AI software, we could have just knocked this out. So I'm just going to real quick just grab this, just to kind of show you what I mean. So I actually do think we can afford to, now that we've darkened her down, I think we can afford to... Man, it is chugging. Now, if we wanted to bring some more dimension back to the face here, we could just come in with... let's have a look. Just double click on the right hand side and then kind of just drag this underlying below. This is going to give us those highlights back. Just hold down the Option key and separate that. Okay, so that's going to give us a little bit more shape back as well, just a little bit. Now you can mess around with the color on that. But you see what I mean about the dimension on the face? because as soon as we start to kind of get that gel too bright, if you wanted a specific color, then you would need a different color gel rather than trying to kind of brighten up the gel color that you have. But this enables us to kind of put a little bit more dimension back into the face by darkening that down, right? You can kind of see that there, how the face is just kind of a little bit blocky at the front, and then bringing it back a little bit. So that's really what I meant about darkening it down. Yeah. Hey Paul, how you doing, man? At least at my screen it seems to be a bit darker in the background. Okay, yeah. Do you still have the satellite open in the background? I don't think so, Vlad. Unless it's just, yeah. I don't know why it's triggering. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense, Thomas. Yeah, and just in terms of what I'm meaning about darkening it down to bring out some of that dimension is all. Yeah. Hey Ola, how we doing? It's looking cool. Love the dynamic pose, and and the angle we got going here. I think it's really cool. Colors are nice as well. Yeah, no worries, Thomas. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Like I said, it's a really good image. Yeah, it's like really well lit. Got a lot going on. I love the angle that you were at and the pose and everything like that. I think it works really well. It's just just watch the exposure on those gels. Touch is all. So all of this is really good. Liking this, and just be careful with these. It's very difficult to light these. Okay, like these in terms of boots, but I'm talking about like crushed or matte fabric cottons or suede or anything like that. Very, very difficult. So it's all gone like kind of pure black here. So I mean, if you've got an even remotely modern camera, you can probably bring out the in the RAW, you can probably bring out a little bit of detail in these blacks, and it might be worth doing. You don't want to bring out so much that it just goes grey. We need to make sure that it's black, so we still need to make sure there's contrast there, but just raising the black point a tiny bit will just help us to see just a little bit more data here. Yeah. And then lastly, I love this kind of dimensional light that you've added. So we've got this nice hair light or edge light that you've added here behind her, and then you've added a color to it as well. I think the color works well with what you've got going on there. Just be careful about it hitting the nose. So whenever you're using edge lights or hair lights, just be conscious of where that light is when it comes to hitting the nose. So it either means you've got to move the light further back so that it's not doing that, or you've got to go, you can still look at me, but just move your head a little bit so that it's not catching the nose. This is just little things about cleaning up some of the lighting, just to tighten it up a touch, just to make sure that we have this nice clean separation of like the front of the face is lit and then the edge lights stay on the edge is all. Otherwise, yeah, really good. Paul, you just joined. Perfect. So rare for me to shoot with men, but here's my offering this week. This is cool. Yeah, this is cool. It's looking really nice. Lighting looks good. I kind of like the fact that we've got this nice separation here. This edge light, kind of good. This is nice. We've gone for this. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just kind of talking through what I'm looking at when I'm seeing this, because we can see where the catch light is here, right? And we can see where like this beauty dish is catching like this here, and then it's kind of going darker here before it goes light again. So we just got to be careful with that. I think the light placement was fine. Had we just moved the chin a touch to it, it just would have helped to kind of open this up a little bit. But with him kind of turning away like this because of where that beauty dish is, what we end up with this shadow underneath the eye here. So it's highlight, shadow, and then highlight. So you end up kind of fighting in terms of visual depth. So what I mean by that is like the brightest part of the image, our eyes and our brains give kind of extra value to. So they kind of are more prominent, more dominant in the shot. And then the shadow areas tend to kind of have this recessive feel to them, and you see it like this is not you being crazy, Paul. You see these images all over the place of like edge lit images where the edge lights are super bright, like overexposed by 2 stops, and then the face is like 1 or 2 stops underexposed with the nose, and it's just a mess, right? It's just a visual mess because the sides of the head has more dominance than the front of the face, so it kind of loses that three-dimensional aspect. And we need to be careful. That's kind of what's going on here when the edge lights become too bright compared to the front facing light there. So this would have been fine. We just bring that chin towards the beauty dish a tiny bit, and that would have been bang on. Yeah. Just be careful on the skin smoothing on men. Just need to just do a tiny amount. We just need to ease off on the skin smoothing on that. This would be absolutely beautiful on women. I just think we kind of need to be need to be careful with it on men. Just need to ease off on it. Yeah. Oh, no worries, Alex. Yeah, was that your image before? Was it? Yeah. Oh, it is you. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you're here for that, Alex. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. But otherwise, Paul, this is good, man. Yeah, this is good, and it's always good to, working with guys and trying to make that work in terms of the lighting on guys. How beautiful do we want to make it? Yeah, it's an Octobox. Good to know on the retouch. Very feminine man, and I'll down to he's wearing. Yeah, absolutely fine. Yeah, and he may absolutely love it, Paul. Yeah, that's just me, giving my kind of tuppence halfpenny there. But he may be like, I absolutely love my skin, Paul. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah, just as long as you're kind of aware of it. Yeah. Just watch this ear as well, kind of going because it's darker here. It's starting to go a little bit red. Just watch that. You are late, Anubhav. Yeah, I think our clocks went forward, so that's why I think a few people have kind of come in a little bit late. So we started an hour and 20 minutes ago. Yeah. How you doing anyway, Anubhav? I saw your picture. I haven't got to it yet. Beautiful image. So yeah, we're just on our way down to it now. So we got a shot here from Etienne. Beautiful, as always. Yeah. So Etienne, I mean, lighting's great here. I'm just looking at the lighting on her face here. It's really nice. Just enough detail in there. I think it's kind of interesting that his face is kind of dark, and I think that works. I think that works well here because it's not busy, right? If we haven't got 2 faces right next to each other, it can start to get a bit cluttered. So I think it works nicely, with just her being lit like that. You may want to just ease off on the brightness of these fingers. Just so that the face becomes maintains the dominance visually. I'm also curious about, because you've gone for this kind of grey skin tone. Like nothing wrong with that. It used to be real popular years ago. I was just curious out of my own curiosity. I just wanted to see. You've got to be careful with these kind of, because there's so many dark tones in this that anything will affect it. Yeah, it's personal preference on this. You've gone for this kind of muted greyish tone, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, I was just curious on it. Also on the hands, let's see if we can knock those hands back, see if it makes any difference at all. What do we want? Just want luminosity. Okay, and then we can put that in a group, and then we can hide that, and then hopefully Because you could also do the opposite as well. Can I put that above that? Thank you. Right. And then I still think those hands need to go even more. And then this face could possibly get away with going up even higher. Yeah. So let's just get rid of where's my color grade? Okay. So you can see how the visual shifts from the hands to the eyes as I'm turning this off and on. See how we're drawn to the hands and then drawn to the face. Yeah. I'll get rid of my color grade to make it easier for you. But you can see how that visual dominance works in terms of brightness, right? You can see how we're shifted to the face and we're shifted to the hands based on that brightness. So there's something to play around with. Normally this would not be an issue. It's just the fact that hands are so busy. There's so much data and knuckles and wrinkles and individual digits and fingernails and tons and tons of data and like stuff for our eyes to be engaged with. So it's a busy object to have near the face. So we've got to be real careful that we would kind of maintain where that visual dominance lies with it. I like the full length shots with the heels pull. Been super busy. Oh, I haven't seen those. Yeah. Been super busy at work recently. Finally, some sun here. I know, right? Finally had we had I think 1 day of sunshine here. I mean, it rained in the afternoon, but yeah, yeah, it rained all day. So got one from here from David Moore. Just had some fun with his shoot last week. Probably need to redo it. Add more glitching, which is a neat thought. I think did you share this shot previously, David, or was it the last stream, or was it just a one like same shot from the same shoot, different shot, same shoot? But yeah, playing around with like these kind of glitch effects and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I think it's always good to explore different things. You want to play with different things. Something may come out of it, right? You're playing with this idea that leads onto something else. I think it's always good to play with things. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Really like the lighting here on the hair is really nice. Just watch out. It's just getting a little bit burnt out here on the shoulders. Yeah, but yeah, definitely playing with these filters is really cool. So we got one here from Chris. How you doing, Chris? Thanks for sharing this one. So I think we looked at this model last week, actually. Yeah. What's going on in the chat? It's going on. Oh, it's a Polish war. What's going on in the chat? I'm not aware of. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? Great model. This is a great model, Chris. Yeah, really good. So I just kind of looking at this. This is like very, very neon kind of shot, and we've been talking about dominant recessive colors and that sort of thing, and you need like this whole visual theory. It's just, I mean, this is great, by the way. I just kind of want to kind of play with this a little bit, and let's see. So I'm kind of looking at this, and this is, there's a little bit bright here. We can kind of pull that back, and look, this is great what you've gone for, Chris. There's nothing wrong with what you've done here. I just kind of want to maybe give an example of how we can look at skin tone and look at how we can maybe balance or add kind of complementary colors to that, whether it be in post or not. Because skin tone is relatively fixed. If you're Caucasian or whatever, then you're relatively fixed in terms of the tone, right? So, I mean, let's just darken this down a little bit. in the highlights. So let's do this again, apply image. If you're not aware, what this does is it just gives us this mask which really targets the highlights. So I just want to come in here and just have a quick play with the color grade, or with just the color toning on her a second. Let's have a look. I feel like there's enough red in there. Do I need to take red out? Just a tiny bit. Okay, so we don't need to do too much. We just need to take out a little bit of that redness. Okay, so we're kind of happy with this skin tone then. So now, let me just see if I can grab this skin tone and then see if we can find the complementary for it. So, always got the mask selected. So let's get that out the way you guys can see it. So no surprise there, right? So skin tone, we kind of had a rough idea of that is, but let's just take that. Let's just take that. See if we can't take this into. Let's bring up. What's the Adobe color wheel thing? Is it? I know it's not Adobe Cooler anymore. Will it get me there? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we want complementary. Let's get rid of about 18 of these. All right, cool. Okay, so well, look, we know. Can I? Oh, I need to put the hex in there. Right, let me grab the hex back then. Put the hex in there. Okay, so, and then we can come over here, and the complementary is going to be like the opposite, right? We know that complementary colors are opposite one another on the color wheel. So what's the point of this? Well, we know that we've got really in that image that Chris has taken there, we've really got two colors, right? We've got the skin tone, and then we've just got one other color, which is the green at the moment. So how can we kind of bring those two things together, like harmonize those two colors a little bit? So we've gone in here and I've just kind of chosen the green that's opposite it, which we got this kind of tealy, almost petrol color here. So right, let's just copy that. Let's go back to Photoshop. Let's just post it in there. So let's just create a new layer, and then let's just paint this like down here. Right, so this is this is the color that we want to kind of get to, right? So if we color grade, let's make sure this is on top so it's not affected by it. So if we kind of, I mean, we could do it in any number of ways here, but the easiest one would be the selective color you did before, right? So we want to kind of darken that down, and we want to get closer to this. So the thing with green is there's so much yellow in it. So you can see it's not affecting it there. We can tweak the yellows here a little bit. You gotta be careful with this because it's affecting the skin. What I want to do is affect that in there. But yeah, so you kind of, so selective color is fine. It's not always going to be great in terms of harmonizing the colors. Let's see if we can make it work with this. good. Can I have... Hello? What the fuck? This is about to... Like, is it about to crash? Why can I not select that? Is something selected that I'm not aware of? Oh, okay. Great. So, just what? Just was lagging, not updating? That was weird. Okay, so well, greens, you want to come in here, play with this. Remember to make sure that's in there. So this one, this is going to be difficult to do with the channel mixer. But it should be possible. So I would just need to take some time to get this skin tone back with the red channel, because it should be possible. Or you could just separate the two, right? But yeah, the idea is still there though, right? With regards to looking for that complementary, especially with skin tones, right? And then try and add that element back into your other color that's in the shot. We would need to go in and adjust that a little bit, but you can kind of see what I was getting at there, right? Just trying to switch it up to make it a little bit more visually cohesive, and then just using tools like that Adobe color thing, whatever it is, or any. There's tons of them out there. The only benefit we had there of the color of the Adobe one is that I knew that I could just grab the hex code and just drag it into the actual color picker, just to make life a little bit easier. That was all. Yeah. Hopefully that makes some sense, Chris. But otherwise, yeah, really good. Yeah, really nice. Oh, was a Tony loves, right? Ban him. He loves green. Outrageous. So Jamie here. I'm away in sunny Cowden, just north of Hull, enjoying the use of my mum's seaside caravan, spending time with my son. So can't join. Oh, I noticed you weren't here, Jamie. Okay. And usual JPRE, come just do. So is the second image I've edited so far from when I went to Cardiff with the magenta setup. Thanks to Jake, who had a look at the images submitted last stream but hadn't edited due to not having bloody clue where to start with this. Sometimes when you're shooting color gel shots, yeah, when you can go in any direction with it, it's like, where do I kind of start with it? Yeah. Didn't have bloody clue where to start. Still learning to play with the RGB channels and curves, not something I usually do. I mean, yeah, I'm still learning them as well, but they are incredibly powerful if you can kind of harness it. Yeah. 2 EOS key rim lights from Neo. Bit fill, ISO 640, 160 to the second, 5.6. Use denoise in Lightroom to bring grain down. Okay, yeah, I mean, like that denoise tool or whatever it is in Lightroom is just nuts. Yeah, crazy. My latest retouching shine doesn't work great in higher ISOs. KNF quarter. Oh, black mist, nice. Used with the now dead smoke machine for a bit of atmosphere. Yeah, those filters will help a lot, especially if you've got highlights and that sort of thing. I know you're kind of doing your magic on these highlights already, but yeah, like any of the Pro Mist filters will just help to just give that nice little glow, I think. Is that check out 3? You son of a bitch. Brilliant. Well played, Jamie. Well played. Thankfully, you weren't there to rub it in. So the only thing with this, I love what we've done with it. The only thing of this is just, and I know this is kind of long. Maybe you've just kind of done this for Instagram stories or something like that. But yeah, just watch out for that bottom bit there, because that bottom bit we don't need. If you really wanted, I think you could get away with it a bit more. But yeah, if you really wanted to make it longer, I would probably go up there and then use whatever it is, the expand fill, generative fill, and that sort of thing. Having that bottom bit with that dead area down there with the dark underneath, I don't think it's the play personally, because it's kind of unfinished down there, right? At least with the top, we have this kind of data. Underneath, we're kind of left wondering what's down there and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you want to have it long and thin like that, I would try and extend it at the top and not have any of that under the chair stuff going on down there. But otherwise, it's really good. I know we kind of looked at this previously. Obviously, you've straightened it up. Oh dear. Yeah, I would just try and straighten that up a little bit. You're gonna have verticals in there. Yeah, just try and straighten it up. That's not a vertical back there, but yeah, I reckon we could get away with just straightening that up a touch. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, really good. But Andre says, I don't nice to finally see you live online. I'm from California. Sorry to interrupt, but you great work. Always great conversations. Hey, no worries, Andre. Yeah. What time is it over with you? Like, what are you, 8 hours behind California? Hope you're well. We've got a couple more. Let's have a look at Tony's shot here. So Tony says, won't be doing live until daylight saving finishes. Oh, right, because you're an hour. Gotcha, yeah. I mean, it's super early anyway. Yeah. Oh, hey, Tony. Yeah, so we are... I was literally just opening up your image, Tony. So I'm just reading what you said. Won't be doing your live until daylight saving finishes. Those of you who don't know, Tony is in Australia. And we're posting and watching the live streams, like painting from the other night. So we hit daylight saving, so we went forward an hour on Sunday. Yeah. So let's have a look at this. Because, I know Tony knows that I love green. So he's like, do you know what, Jake? Here's some green. Okay. Terrified to use this now. So what can we do with this then? There's nothing wrong with what you've already got, Tony. I'm just gonna play with it a little bit. Just a little bit. So I'm just looking at this. I'm just trying to get this nice and clean here, as well as bring in like these colors of the background all in line. I'm just kind of curious as to... We can push it quite a ways, to be fair. Just go back to the green here a second. I like to do the channel mixes in separate colors, in separate layers, so it's easier to turn them off and on. Just be mindful that when you do that, they will stack, right? So if I want to work on the greens and the reds in this image, and I just work on the greens, when I work on the reds, it will still work as though the greens haven't been done yet. If I do the greens and then the reds, they'll work off of each other. It's rare that that's an issue, but just something to be mindful of. So I was just curious as to how far we could push that. I think that's too far, but let's just see. Yeah, I think that's a bit too far, but let's just do reds and then we can come back. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So we are managing to get some separation here with the color in the water. We've cranked it so much that we have been able to just bring out some color in the water there. Yeah. Right. Lastly, then, let's target this highlight. See if we can bring any of that back. So we really don't want, so like find a mid-tone, just put a dot there so it shouldn't affect that, and then we can come in here and yeah, okay. So look, just in case you didn't like green, yeah, just bring in the warmth. I really like doing things like this, especially with outdoor natural light shots. I know this isn't natural light, but when you have these large areas of like a single color, there are always really good examples of how powerful the channel mixer is, you know. Oh, we've gone too far on this, but you can always bring it back. But yeah, always like really useful to see just how powerful the channel mixer is, because it's grading the whole image and it's working with, you're not targeting a specific color. Is why this channel mixer is so good for color grading, because when you change one color, it's organically changing the other colors around it. It's what makes it difficult to use, but if you can nail it, you can kind of add this, really pulled out this tiny bit of separation here where it was almost whiter, yellowy as opposed to greeny down here, and we were really able to kind of bring that out. Do 242. Oh, okay. So, oh yeah, that is, yeah. So yeah, you are, yeah. Oh, you're from Tunbridge Wells, Kent, are you? Wow. Okay. Live in California. Nice. I love California. I know, like, other Americans love to shit on California for some reason, but yeah, I love it. I like what you were trying here. I will do some plan like this. See you next week. Yeah, nice, Tony. Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. Yeah. Again, like when you have a palette like that, where it's all kind of this under this one umbrella of a single tone. So we had like the greeny yellows there. Like I knew that it was going to be very easy to color grade, because it's you're affecting one thing and it's very, very organic with it. You saw me doing it with Chris's image a minute ago. We had like the green dress in the background and the skin. Like, I know if I spent more time with that, I could do the skin as well and the green dress separately, but it is it does take time. Yeah. You're right. I'm not checking names at the door, Andre. It's fine. Yeah, Americans are welcome here, but it's great that you're proudly English. How long have you been in California? Just checking these, all good. So we got our Nubibs here. Just do a Nubibs in a minute. Let's look at Tracy's shot here. No models today. Share this. Kookaburra? Stole my heart today. Where are you based in, Tracy? Kookaburra? Yeah, I don't think we have those here. Where are you based, Tracy? Yeah. Thanks for sharing this. Always good to see what people are out doing. See, I'm terrible. I only ever pick up my camera when it's an actual shoot, right? I'm terrible at taking my camera out for like a walk or something like that, and I should do, really. Yeah. So Hats off to you, Tracy. Yeah, hats off to you going out there and getting. This is a beautiful shot to get that close to him, though. 40 years, LA fashion photographer. Nice. Oh man, you live in the dream, Andre. 40 years. How's that accent treating you? Did you have a South London accent? I know Kent isn't South London, but you know what I mean. So Anubov. This is awesome, man. This is really good. Really good. So, been busy lately, but here is my recent one, lighting diagram below. So we've obviously got the... I presume this is a photo shoot. This wasn't you just grabbing a BTS of the lunchroom. Very cool. Last Supper reincarnation there. Let's see what we got. Jesus Christ. Tell me you're sponsored by Panotubes without telling me you're sponsored by Panotubes. Jesus Christ, Nubov. I still have a Kentish man. Okay, fair enough. You hang on to it. Yeah. Californians love it, mate. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? Nubov, what is going on here? 3 are these? Oh, these are little ones as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's gross. Just gross. Hey. And there's 2 more there. So what do we get to? Like 12? We get 12. So we've got 2 on the table as well. So what we got? Did you? Were you trying to get some? You trying to get some lights from Panotube? You're like, guys, I just need just a couple more lights. If I could just get these. This has got this great idea for a shoot, and it needs 12 lights. Just if you could help me out. I mean, if you can, if you manage to convince them to give you that many lights, mate, more power to you. So we got lights on the table, apparently. Or are you counting those candles? I can't see the lights on the table here. Oh, under table. There you go. That's what Jake gets for not reading. Oh, a little bit of a glow there. Okay. Fair play, man. Fair play. Yeah, this looks like a nightmare. Yeah. So Tony says, congratulations on getting that many models together on one day. I know how that can be. Yeah, right. Yeah. So you started selling. Are you cheeky? Don't tell them that. When shooting for Playboy magazine, do it out to each other. See, if you've been shooting for that many years, Andre, then yeah, you're. What sort of years are you talking about, Andre? Are you going back to? That's not the. I suppose you might have been 80s. You weren't shooting in the 80s, were you? Because I always try and say this with a straight face, but nobody kind of believes me. But you're absolutely right, Andre. The lighting, the old school Playboy was doing, because this is a time before Photoshop, right? If you see some of those setups, like the old school Playboy of like 70s, especially 80s though, nuts, like 14, 15 lights. And the body looks incredible, absolutely sculpted with these lights, and that's a lost art. Like nobody shoots like that anymore. You just I'll just add that in post and that sort of thing, or it's kind of seen as cheesy glamour, the glow that we used to have in the 80s. Like that's certainly very passé now, but that is as a lost art, like that kind of very almost overlit, but not absolutely incredible talent to be able to light like that. And again, like nobody does it anymore, really. But anyway, coming back to Anubov's shot here. So this is the Last Supper. So was this just an idea that you had? Like, is there a story behind this, Anubov? Like, what are you going for here? Is this just like a promo piece for something, or like what are we doing here? First off, I think it's really nice that we got this kind of color contrast between the blues outside and the warmth on the inside. I think a lot of people would be afraid to go this far into the yellow. So I mean, hats off to you for doing that. and you know she's a bit dark there, but like for the most part this is good. What's this? Is this flare up here, or is there a specifically like a color up here that you've added for? Yeah. You've gone back to the 90s, Andre. You don't tell me. Don't tell me you use a ring light. Don't tell me. Come on. This is 90s cop out. We used to take the piss out of the ring flash in the 90s as just being an absolute cop out. Don't tell me that. It better be good stuff. So yeah, and with this, yeah, like Tony said, this has got to be really, really difficult to organize this many people, all on one day, and you know, to get all the lights set up. How long did it take you to set this up, if you don't mind me asking, because this is beautiful stuff. Yeah, it's really good, really good. I think it's really difficult to kind of get this all done in a time frame that's acceptable for everybody. Now this was a bucket list shot on top. Nice. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's fair enough. There's a bucket list on top is pepper tube taped. Oh, up high. Under table. So we got one here on ceiling. Okay, so this one here, vertically or running, is on the ceiling. Okay, and that's orange. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I think it's really good. Yeah, I mean, you should be careful of this contrasting lighting. And when I mean contrasting lighting, I'm talking about contrasting luminance. So for example, like the girls are kind of lit from above here on the table, and then in the background behind they're kind of lit from below. We've got to be real careful with that. Like it's fine over here on this side, but just be careful of this under lighting in the background, because it kind of fights with our visual dominance, right? Because they're lit from above in the foreground, and then in the background they're lit from below. You got to be careful with that. I think we kind of get away with it here because it's, you know, because the colors are so exaggerated. There's so much going on. Like you absolutely get away with it here. It's not a problem, but probably just ease off on the exposure back here just a touch, just so you know, just so this kind of yellow square here behind them isn't quite so bright. But otherwise, yeah, really good. Yeah, impressive stuff, man. Really good. Yeah, I mean, it's great to see you doing this in, again, this is a small space. I mean, this is larger than what you normally work in, but you know, you've got 12 lights or something like that. So yeah, really impressive. Yeah, really impressive. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Always a treat seeing those. Yeah, beautiful. I think an hour or something. An hour, nice, man. Fair play. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're actually just gonna double check. Just gonna wrap this up. Sorry to flashbang you there, guys. Just refresh that and flashbanged everybody. Nice. I don't know what's going on with my Mac, but or my system in general. Maybe I've just got too much crap on the hard drive. Okay, nice. There we go. Okay, so you've got a decent amount of space in front, which is nice, but mate, that is scuffed. When you said taped to the ceiling, I didn't think you meant like literally. You need to save up for some super clamps. Come on. Rather you than me, man. If that falls off onto a model, come on, please tell me that's not taped, Anubiv. Please, you gotta. If that comes off onto a model, you are fucking done. Yeah. You need to be careful with that. But otherwise, yeah, really cool. That blue is really strong out there. Yeah, that's quite a big. That's a big softbox coming in there. Let's look at the image one more time. Okay. That's pretty soft, that one. Yeah, nice. Okay. So that softbox. Oh, because. Oh yeah, because I didn't see that was said octa. Okay. So that softbox is doing most of the work there, which is good. I think that's good. Yeah, having that one strong direction and then being filled in with, you know, more orange on this side works well. Yeah, works well. Anuba, please don't do that, man. Please do not tape lights above models' heads, man. It's just not worth it. Get in, please, fucking hell. Yeah, yeah. That would be a short career, man. Yeah. But look, incredible image, man. Really, really good. And I think it's a solid bucket list shot. And I think that I think it's good. I think it's good for everybody to think about that. What are your bucket list shots? I've done this before, in training and that sort of thing, and I've asked people like, what is, if money was no object, what is your dream photo shoot, right? And I think it's good to kind of have this idea in mind, like if money was no object, and I'm not just talking about, I'd hire Ryan Gosling, like as a model. Like, that's not what I mean when money is no object. I'm talking about like doing something like, okay, I want to do the Last Supper, so hiring 12 models and all that sort of stuff, whatever, complex stuff like this. Like, what is kind of your aspirational shots? And it's good to have a rough idea of something like that in mind, because you can certainly do shoots that work towards that or do parts of it, and I've certainly done shots like that in the past where I've had this kind of incredible idea for a shot, and then something comes up and you're like, oh, that guy works on making copper corsets for this, and we can combine this with that, and we can then turn it into a motorbike shoot. Like, things can kind of roll on, but you need to have it in your mind to be kind of aware of an opportunity that may come up. So get into the habit of thinking about dream shoots or bucket list shoots like this, because it can be really really useful. Right, guys, well done. We made it. I'm just going to do some flagrant self-promotion before we leave here. And don't forget, online workshops still going strong, so check those out if you're interested. I will check these last comments before we go. Just give me 2 seconds. So if you're interested in taking stuff further in terms of being a little bit more advanced, a little bit more detailed in terms of the training, then check out some of my online workshops. These are one-to-ones with you, so targeted at kind of what you're trying to achieve with it. Jake, I want to do cinematic, but I want to do it in my home studio. What can I do? I'm using LEDs, I'm using flash, so it's the benefit of these one-to-ones is it being targeted to your space, your kit, that sort of thing. Same with all of them. If you want to just get better with gel lighting in general, then check that out, right? Projector shoots as well, like so underutilized. Like so much we can be doing with projectors that people are still just not using. This one here, incredibly simple, just doing like softer colors. Like, how can we control very soft tones in a shot? How can we do things with hard lighting as well as soft lighting? Definitely one of the better ones. Working in small spaces, right? Everybody has had to shoot in a small space, whether it be a salon, corporate office, home studio. Like, what are some of the tricks that we can use? Like, we kind of spoke about it before, like feathered light. Feathered light, one light on a background. How can we evenly light the background in a small space using a softbox? Like tricks like that. And then long exposure, right? Always some of my most popular shots are the long exposure images, and again, just because they're so unique, I think. So definitely check those out. Mentoring as well, check that out for more targeted stuff in terms of retouching business pieces, as well as actual feedback on your portfolio and that sort of thing as well. So check those out. See what we got here at the end. I have same shots from 11 years ago, but only difference was I did 12 different exposures of me sitting and posing with two. No way, no, but that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, definitely share that one next time. I'd be interested to see that. Yeah, no worries, Kat, no worries. Nice shaving me like. Yeah, no, thank you, Andre. Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing it a long time. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Don't miss the next stream. Remember to ding the bell thing or whatever it is, or follow. Do the YouTube thing on there, and hopefully you'll see the next stream. Thank you to everybody that shared an image in the share a shoot. So incredible quality of images. If you were in chat tonight and didn't feel like sharing an image, please do so next time. I know the caliber of work in here is really, really high, but don't let that put you off. Like, we all start somewhere, so everybody's welcome to share images. So thank you to everybody that did. Incredible work as always. Super colorful again this week. Beautiful to see. All right then, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to get some dinner. Everybody enjoy the rest of the week, and we shall do this again in, what, a fortnight? All right, guys, take it easy, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye.